Welcome to McArthur Live. We're your hosts, Tim Bartz and
Sarah.
Welcome to episode 125, second episode of this year. And so hopefully everybody's having a great new year so far. We're in the middle of a snowstorm.
Yeah.
So we got about 6 inches last night, last night.
The snow has stopped.
The snow has stopped. But I know the highway I-70 was closed from the Colorado border to Salina last night.
Yes.
Nobody can get off or get on the highway, I should say, just because of the blowing snow and everything else.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I heard the wind. I went upstairs to go check on the boys and heard the wind. So I grabbed extra blankets and put them on. I'm like, just in case the power goes out.
But we're here.
Yep.
Because it's kind of hard when you own a Bronco to call in and say you can't get to work.
Yeah.
You made it with the C-Max, so no excuses there.
Yeah.
So anyway, no, I got up this morning because on live stream nights I come in a little bit later. So I come in 11, so it's not such a long day for these live streams since we're on usually till 9 o'clock Central Time here, 10 o'clock sometimes. And so I come in a little bit later. So got up and got the snowblower out and got it cleared off. Not before you came over with the kids, but anyway. So
Max made it halfway up your driveway?
Yeah. See, I got a little bit of a hill. What else? What all did you do this weekend? Recovered? I know you weren't. I knew you came down with something this weekend along with the kids.
Yep.
It's like it hit Will one day and then Theo the next and then you on Saturday.
Yeah. It started with Will on Wednesday. Yep. Then me Saturday. And then Yeah.
See, what did I do Saturday? I don't remember. I don't know.
I wasn't here yesterday.
Saturday went over and saw the new grandson.
I haven't been able to yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I didn't take off that Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I didn't make it over the rest of the week. And then they were in Topeka. And then they were finally home. But then our kids got sick. And I'm like, I'm not taking anything over there.
Yeah. So anyway, here we are. I mean, I posted something today on my socials. By the way, if you're not following me on I like Threads as well as Instagram. So if you're not following me, Ford Video Guy on Threads, Instagram, even on X, formerly Twitter.
Yeah.
I'd rather you follow me on those than Facebook. You can follow me on Facebook, but probably if you add me as a friend, I probably won't add you back. I don't do a lot on Facebook, but Threads definitely. I post a lot. I like posting stuff on Threads. But I posted a picture today of the Mavericks with snow all over them. So we have like 3 Mavericks back by the picture building, and I'm like, yeah, 6 inches of snow is not going to stop us from selling Mavericks. One of the things that we know is that it's not snowing on the internet because it's not snowing everywhere, right? So some people still want to buy cars and they get on the internet and expect that to happen. And
Yeah.
we said, we can be your Maverick dealer no matter where you're at in the country. So
Yeah.
there you go. It's kind of fun.
I mean, we have a few people that live out in the country that couldn't make it in, but
yeah, I know Niles. So again,
he's talking.
Yeah, he's on there, so he's talking about it. But so this picture is of his, and you can't see it because it's behind Sarah's back. But there's a gravel road right there. That's his gravel road. So when it snows 6 inches, it's not fun for him to get down. But can't drive the 4-wheeler all the way here.
Well, he was saying not even the 4-wheeler could make it through some of the drifts.
Yeah.
So he had to dig out the 4-wheeler a couple of times.
Yep. But we're supposed to get more snow Thursday night.
Yeah.
Again.
And this stuff isn't melting.
Yeah, it's still out there. Still quite a bit. So anyway, got my Bronco off-road hat. Okay, speaking of this, so just to make sure everybody knows, we do, of course, record this as a podcast. So you can find that on your favorite podcasting platforms. I like Spotify, but we're all on all of them except for Apple Podcasts. So find your favorite one if you want to re-listen to it, or maybe you're listening to it right now and you're like, what are they talking about? I can't see anything. So come join us if you are listening to the podcast live Tuesday night, 7 p.m. And I'm going to start on all the videos highlighting this live stream because I think it's pretty valuable live stream. I think there's a lot of great things that we can help people with here. It's your way of sourcing I feel like we're a good dealer, but we're definitely in the know when it comes to Ford news and updates and scheduling and everything. So if you have questions, and you're like, okay, I go to these dealers and they just don't have the answers for me. That's what we're here for. We're here to answer your questions. And I've been kind of over the years, when I first started, was really into knowing the new vehicle product, knowing the standard equipment, the optional equipment, the different packages. And if I can't answer that, I know how to find it quickly. And if some of you have watched our live stream, I can pull it up right on the live stream and find it that quick and find those answers. So that's what we're here for, to help people out and just have fun and talk vehicles, because buying a car shouldn't be miserable. It should be fun. So hopefully you guys got a good local dealer, but if not, we're here to kind of help you out and get you through all that confusion and everything. So yeah, come on in here. So I want to help make sure that live stream is a good source for everybody. And we're here every Tuesday night. All right. What else we got? I didn't print off my sheet.
We have someone new or newer that I haven't seen a lot of in here. Philip, he works at a dealership. Oh. He's saying, LOL, I work at a dealership. Come work here.
Is that our Philip?
No. This one's a service writer.
We have a Philip. Anyway.
In sales.
All right. Okay. We got RagnarCon on there.
Yeah. He's sailing away.
So last night I got an All Terrain Nations live stream, and I was like, I need to come into the live stream, and my first message needs to be as impactful and awesome and cool like RagnarCon is on our live stream. I couldn't think of anything last night.
That was his first comment.
So he always has something fun to start it off with. So anyway, watch his video. So check RagnarCon out, YouTube channel, just like it is there in the chat. But you got to check out his, along with some of the other ones. All Terrain Nation I mentioned was watched their live stream last night, was really good. RagnarCon has a really good video that he did of some of the things he got for Christmas, and some of the putting some of those things on. So those are pretty cool, which it's kind of videos that I do as well. So anyway, yeah, it's always fun. So check his channel out, as well as down in the description I have a list of all the different channels that we kind of follow, and think you should follow as well. So all right, Johnny's Car Care Review, I don't know if he's in here or not yet, but he's always a good one too. In fact, at some point we're gonna meet up in Florida, Orlando, Florida, this spring, either February or March. So we're gonna get that all scheduled out. We'll let
Yeah.
you guys know if you're in that area. So anyway,
It'll be exciting.
yeah. All right. Move
And I
on.
think the plan is to meet at Ford's Garage
Yeah.
in Orlando. Yep. So Ford's
Yeah.
Garage in Orlando.
Yeah. See, when I went to Tampa, they didn't have a Ford's Garage in Tampa. They
Yeah.
had one in Loveland and then in Orlando. And
So
we
you
met
went
at
to
we went to Loveland because it was in between. But
Yeah.
yeah, on this one we would go to the one in Orlando because we're going to be staying in Orlando.
Yep.
So it's cool. Been a little while since I've been in Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Last time I was there, I was in high school with the band.
Yep.
My first and only time there.
All right. Let's see what else we got. So we talked to people about. Don't forget, make sure you're subscribed, notification bell, all that stuff if you're watching on YouTube. And then make sure too that you share the video and the live stream. That'd be awesome on your socials. Yeah,
Lakeland, not Loveland.
Lakeland,
Loveland is a town in
Colorado.
border of Colorado.
All right, let's talk about membership.
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right. If you'd like to become a member, it is that join button right there by that subscribe button. And if you are an Apple user, you won't be able to see that join button. You're going to have to go to your desktop browser, go up to the top with the little A and big A, and request the desktop browser or website. At that point, you should be able to see it.
Should be able to, unless they changed it yet again. Which it is Apple, so they do
can't
that.
Purchase audiobooks in the audio thing. You have to go to.
Well, let's not get started on that. We won't. That's not going to be our rant for today.
No, that's just something that's going on with me.
I really don't have a rant yet, but we might. We'll see. Okay, and also if you do the membership content, you can find. Actually, if you just go to our page now, they've actually changed it. Yes. And if you scroll down a little bit, we do have the member comment. The content will be right on there along with our videos. Like you can see the videos, live streams, and that kind of thing. We've actually added. YouTube's made it different now, so we add those in there. So, and you get some pretty cool content. So not only going to get a weekly live stream where you can chat with us. Each week on Friday at 4 p.m., which is a lot of fun. Members get in there. We have close to 100 people in there sometimes on a Thursday afternoon or Friday afternoon at 4. That's Central Time. But we have a lot of fun with that. We go over member orders, so you don't have to. If you don't have an order with us, that's no problem. There are some of our members that have orders with us, and we go over the status of their order and that kind of stuff in that. But we also kind of talk about maybe some things that we might be talking about Tuesday. So, yep. And then on Saturday I do a lot walk. And I kind of go over some of the vehicles that are on the lot that kind of arrived, some of the deals that is going on our lot. There's we just lowered the prices again on a lot of things, which we might talk about later. But so those prices are coming down as more dealers are getting inventory. Those prices are coming down, folks. So they're available and they're out there. But then I usually have something that I kind of talk about that's called a walk and talk section, because there's a section where there's like nothing for me to do from going around a lot. So then I just kind of talk about some anyway, that's fun. And then also when our members on our videos go live, our members get to see them before anybody else. So a lot of times I'll schedule out a video to go live at 6 or 7 p.m. Yeah. But our members, when I schedule that video to go out, that's when they get to see it. So if I have it ready to schedule out at 4 p.m., they get to see it at 4 or 5 p.m., sometimes a couple hours before everybody else. So, yeah, anyway.
Unless I'm doing the editing, then you get it at 5.
But anyway, yeah. And then we're doing now, like yesterday, you guys saw, first episode of Maverick Monday.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? I think I want to buy the music, the Manic. What is it? The Manic Monday?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Bengals?
I don't know.
That
I somewhat know what you're talking about. I
know
the song.
So I'm thinking maybe I go ahead. I don't purchase a lot of audio, but that might be one to purchase just for that video. Might be kind of fun. Anyway, because somebody said, "Oh, it's a manic Monday."
Yeah.
Anyway, so you'll expect that every Monday. If you want something to talk, you want me to cover something on the Maverick, let me know. I'm always looking for that. It's for you guys. This week's we did on the trimmer, because I think it's very important that people know that the Maverick trimmer comes with the graphics. If you don't want
Yep.
the graphics, you have to add the graphics delete option. So I wanted to make sure people know that. Plus, talk about some of the different things you can get on that. And little known the fact that you don't have to go luxury package to get the trimmer, but you do have to go Copilot 360 to get the trimmer. Whereas in the black appearance package, you're required to go luxury, but not Copilot. So it's a little confusing there. But we talked last week about some of that confusion that Ford needs to fix. But anyway, but yeah, so membership, it's always fun. We value our members, and we like creating content for them as well. So we probably spend more time almost creating content for our members than we do public videos. And that's okay, because they're our friends. All right. Let's see what else. Let's talk about what members. Oh, the other thing you get.
Shout outs
on our live stream.
I was waiting for that. I have people start.
All right. Who we got in here?
We'll start off with Ridgeview, our wonderful moderator. He keeps everyone in line during our live streams.
Yes, and he is back he's at home, but I think I saw in the notes that he's headed to Florida.
Yes, tomorrow
with his son. So
Marine Vet, look who's checking in early tonight. Yeehaw. And he's back in. This was like an hour
sometimes
ago.
they jump in like a couple hours before and say hi and then come back.
Whenever you make it live, that's when people start jumping in sometimes.
Well, I made it live last night, so I'm trying to get better at that.
We have Craig Mock. How was everyone's this evening? Nothing wrong with being a little early. We have Ghost saying my Maverick was shipped 1624. Scheduled delivery date was 2/9/24. 531 days wait. It's worth the wait. It is. We have Brian Foster from Southern California, where the low 40s is cold. Oh, I didn't put that one up. I'm sorry. And I put him back in here. Man, this channel is gaining popularity. All these newbies, welcome y'all. Should join the crew. It's well worth the money.
It's what, $5 a month?
Yep.
It's one less Starbucks.
We have Jack Evans. Yo, friends, how is all doing? He's actually going to Georgia on Thursday. So Ridgeview is heading to Florida, and Jack is moving from Florida to Georgia.
I'm sure they'll get together and hang out one day.
Oh, well, I think he's planning to be at the Florida meetup. Elizabeth Kittrell. Hello, everyone. We have Tim Freeman. Aloha all.
Is Tim from Hawaii?
I believe so.
That's right. Yeah. He got lightning.
Yep.
Had to deliver there.
We have Salty Jim. Happy Tuesday, everyone from snowy Chicago.
I guess no, too.
We have R. Quibido. Good morning, or good Marty at all. And I think he plans to be in Florida, too.
Awesome.
Mo Richman, 300. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is having a good evening. Okay. And we have Niles, our other moderator and in-house aftermarket specialist. Any aftermarket questions, put at Niles Gridley. Hey, friends and family, we got snowed in. Couldn't make it down to our road to go to work today. Spent a lot of time shoveling. Not fun.
Yeah. You just need to get a plow for your truck.
Or
a four-wheeler.
You need to get
a
snow plow hookup. Yep.
Yep. With your road, with your drive.
Yep. All right, we got, and then you only need it on one vehicle. So hook it up to yours, and then she can follow behind you. We have Rhett Butler. No snow in Denver today.
His Maverick, I think he did his paperwork on his Maverick recently.
I think so.
Pretty awesome.
Weather's been interesting to say the least. Watching in front of my fireplace while it snows outside. I wish I had a fireplace. Can I come over to your house?
Sure.
My kids might run amok while I sit quietly by the fireplace. All right.
So they've been having tornadoes in Florida.
Yes, they have been. Canadian Dividend Growth Investing. Hi from Quebec, Canada.
Awesome.
We have Bulls 44. Like number 12, my favorite number.
Yeah, don't forget to ask people to smash the like. I don't know.
We covered that. We covered that. How did your trimmer go in the snow? He didn't take the trimmer.
Actually, I drove it yesterday. So I drove it home in the snow. It just started snowing. So we probably had like an inch or so. But it drove fine. Just not quite the clearance the Bronco gets. So I drove the Bronco today. It was kind of fun because back there by the picture building, they plowed through and there's a bunch of spots that were empty. And so they just kind of plowed across and plowed it all up onto there. And I'm like, we can't get into those parking spots. I'm like, I'll fix that. Took the Bronco through there a couple of times.
You can tell our snowplows went through our streets last night before it stopped snowing.
Yeah.
So it pushed it up to the side. Well, this morning, a guy on one of our busiest streets went and plowed his driveway and pushed it all back into the street. So there was a mountain in the street. Did you see that on Ohio?
No.
Coming down?
No.
Yeah, he pushed it all back into one of the most major streets in Salina.
Well, I will say when I did I got the snowblower out when I got to the drive. I tried going as far to the left as I could, but some of it got out in the street. So
that's okay. But you could tell he put all of it in the street.
That's kind of funny.
You could tell everyone swerved around it.
All right.
Here we go. Steve P. from Phoenix, 48 chilling degrees. Good evening, everyone. Hasn't been above 35 today.
Yep. Well, there's a member that commented, or not somebody that's not a member that commented that you might want to answer the question real quick.
Oh. Where is the battery for jumping another vehicle? For a Maverick?
So the battery technically is under the rear seat passenger side. That's actually where the battery is at. Kind of like the Fusion hybrid that we owned was in the trunk in the back. But there's a spot under the hood towards the left side, I believe. You know where it's at in the Maverick because you actually did a video on that.
Yeah.
There is a positive terminal there, and then you just mount the negative to any
unpainted bolt. There is a specific bolt that you're supposed to use. But I talked with our technicians, and any unpainted bolt
is where the negative goes in. Yeah,
is where the negative goes.
So there is one under the hood, like there is in most vehicles. So the battery's not there, but there's a terminal that runs from that. To jump it.
And you can jump another vehicle from that position.
Yes.
So, like if I want to jump my C-Max with the Maverick, I would hook it up at that point.
Yep. Not sure why she's asking that, but
I have a feeling
because my Maverick is not a hybrid.
No, but Sis's is.
Your sister? Yes.
And they haven't been driving it, have they?
No.
Have they been driving the Fusion?
Not too much.
If he's been driving the Fusion,
yep,
hasn't been driving her Maverick may not be starting.
Yeah, there's a spot. Anyway. Yeah. So there you go. So
if she needs help, call me.
Yeah. So, but that is also good. So there you go. Maybe she's saying that's a good thing that I could show in a Maverick Monday. See, she's helping out. So she also has been helping out in the Bronco community. So there's a Bronco women's group. Are you in part of that group?
I'm in it, but I don't.
She's been trying to help people out. She's been quizzing me. She's keeping me on my toes. So I don't know if I'm passing the test or what, but she's been helping some of them out. But speaking of the Bronco community, are you done? Sorry, the member stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to check that one off. All right. So if you're on Instagram, you see a lot of people that have stickers in there. So Auto Illusion, isn't that what it is? Auto Illusion, they do stickers. Where are mine?
Jolie's watching. She says that his Fusion isn't starting. We need to jump it with her Maverick. It's the same on his Fusion hybrid, right?
If he has a Fusion hybrid,
it's going to be the same terminals.
Should be.
Yeah, because I just jumped Lebo's not too long ago. Yeah. So it's going to be a positive and a negative terminal.
There'll be something there'll be like a red terminal under there that you can see it.
For the positive, and then any unpainted bolt is where the negative goes on both vehicles.
Yep. All right. So on Instagram, it's really big in the Bronco community to do stickers. So Auto Illusion makes some. So here's the one that we received. that we had done, and we actually took the auto illusion thing off of that. But there's my Bronco. I should say our Bronco because the wife's on the stream, so I got to be careful that it's our Bronco. Anyway, but I also did one on the Maverick. And at some point, we'll get that trimmer graphic over here to look like that. But there you go, trimmer. Anyway, so a couple of people had reached out to me, so I got some back from Lindsay. She's Buxton Bronco, I think, on Instagram. If you want to check her out, but she will send you hers. And we got hers in. I got hers in, so this is really cool. So
Jack Evans says he got his in.
Kind of like, oh, Jack did?
Yep.
All right, Jack, just got to do a sticker swap. Okay, send them our way. So if you want our address, it's in the description of every one of our videos. So send them to me, care of Tim Bart's, and we'll send you ours. So there you go. Yeah, that one actually says Buxton Bronco VA. They're in Virginia. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, got that today. And she does tumblers, by the way.
Ooh.
So anyway,
Don't
there you
tell
go.
me that.
We sent some other off
don't
to somebody
use
else
it.
not too recently, but I got a bunch of stickers. So at some point, we might put something up. I don't know. I don't want to cover this beautiful picture, but there's a little light right there that keeps coming through. I think it must be from one of those lights. Maybe we could put them up there. Anyway. All right. Where are we at?
I don't know. I'm trying to read back 30 plus comments.
All right. Recent videos, Maverick Monday. We did the Sidewinder video last Friday. If you check out our McArthur Luxury channel, I did a video walk around on, very quick one, on Instagram as well as on Facebook over there. Upcoming videos, not sure what we got going on Friday, but we'll work on some stuff. All right, you got a good dealer moment?
Not
Did
pulled
you
up.
have one last week that you had?
Yeah, I have them.
All right, while she's doing that, let's see. What else? Oh, don't forget our merch. There's some deals going on right now. Let me see here on our merch shop, which is lawmacarthur.myspreadshop. That's SPREADSHOP.com. Link is in the description as well of this video. If you want to get that. And let's see here. They got some deals going on. Let's see. I actually commented these. Is this them? Nope. It's not them. Here they are. So there is a promo going on, I think, right now. Oh, nope, that's not till January 24th. So they got a Tim Bart's birthday special going on that starts the day after my birthday. But here we go. This is the one. Okay. January 3rd to this. Okay, that one expired. Never mind. Disregard. So we ain't got anything going on right now on any special deals. Free standard shipping, though, starting next week, the 12th to the 16th. But there you go. All right. Did you get it?
Yes, I do.
Good dealer.
I
actually got some merch. I got my sweatshirt. And I actually got our the Bronco. I have some of that made up this week. I think it was Sunday night. The Bronco on the back with Ford Reader guy in the front over here. A couple different designs.
Yeah.
Including a hoodie. The zip-up hoodie with that I'm going to probably purchase at some point. We got that and some other stuff. So, yeah, there's some fun stuff I've just added on there recently, including onesies and toddler shirts if you need all the kids to get one.
They don't have all the sizes, but you can make it work.
All right. Anyway.
All right.
Hold on.
Gotta have that. This is PGH Fish Fry. I live about 2 hours away in Pittsburgh. Or he had a great experience at Corwin Ford in Mannington, West Virginia. I live about 2 hours away in Pittsburgh, and then all of 5 minutes from Kenny Ross Ford South. But when I initially ordered from Kenny Ross, I wasn't happy with the experience. It took them days to get my order entered and told me they were taking on a $2,000 for VIN etching and a bunch of other stuff, and I had no choice. I canceled that order and called Jack at Corwin Ford on the recommendation of a family who had bought with him before, and he immediately entered my order. I had the email from Ford before we were off the phone and explained the entire process. I ended up paying MSRP, got a fair price for my trade, and he didn't pressure me on the ESP. I did decide to purchase one, but I appreciate not being locked in a room with the finance manager until I buy one, which I've experienced at bigger dealers before. I was happy to drive the 2 hours to pick up this weekend in exchange for working with an honest dealer. They don't get a ton of allocations because they're a small dealer, but I don't think they get a ton of Maverick orders either. I was impressed with how quickly everything moved. I ordered the first week, orders opened in July, and was built in early November, and the truck was at the dealer November 29th. So, Corwin Ford in Mannington, West Virginia.
All right. Okay. There you go.
Onward.
Yes. All right. On to the scheduling notes. And this week I do have some graphics because I do want to explain some things when we get to a couple of these on Bronco and Maverick especially, because I know there's people waiting for them. So let's jump into scheduling notes here.
Real quick, if you have questions and we have not answered them, I am pulling them aside for a later time for us to answer because it pertains to one of our other topics, or for our Q&A because it's not pertaining to anything specifically right at this time. If you have a question, ask Sarah Davis.
All right. Let's get this all figured out here. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to get into scheduling information here for this, and just like we do with most weeks, we're going to go over the terminology here and kind of just break everything down so you kind of know what everything means. When we talk about scheduling, we're talking about people that have orders submitted with their dealer that's waiting to get scheduled for a production date so it can get built and then get shipped to them. So let's go ahead and start with the terminology here. All right, so looking through that, so order bank is where the dealer places all those stock and retail orders. A retail order is a customer placed order, is what they call a retail order. A stock order is an order that's placed by the dealer for stock or lot inventory. And then priority codes are given to those orders. Of course, customers, retail gets a 03 to 19. And so they can kind of stack those how they want to. And then 20 to 80 is stock allocation. So again, dealerships can stack those the same way on stock ones. If they want a certain, configurations and that they're low on, they can make those 20s and make something maybe they have available, making that 80 so they can stack their stock ones as well. So lower is going to be better, and they will be looked at first. I've had people kind of argue with me on this. Priority codes aren't working right, and they do. Priority codes are looked at first, or the configuration that Ford is looking for is first looked at. They're looking for, let's say, XLTs, and yours is an XLT, and then they're going to look at priority codes next. If you don't have the configuration that they're looking for, it doesn't matter what priority code you're not going to get looked at, and then they'll go on to the next. So that's kind of how that works. So it's always configuration first, priority code, and then your timestamp. Scheduling, and that is when Ford schedules an order for production date in the future months. And a production date, it'll be scheduled to the week, and then at some point, it'll get scheduled to the day. And then that's when Ford plans to build your vehicle. Allocations, and why we talk about allocations, and allocation are given to the dealer. So a dealer Ford gives dealers allocations to schedule their orders. A dealer needs an allocation to schedule an order in the order bank. Dealers earn allocations from sales for each model within their region. So you got to have an allocation to get scheduled. So if a dealer has, a bunch of orders and they don't have enough allocations, they won't get scheduled that month, and they could get carried over to the next month. Constraints, that's an options that may be in short supply or take longer to build. Capacity is the planned production rate of a given motor, trim, or option. We're going to talk about some of those in today's part of this video. And then the job 1 and 2 is a production run is split into, in the model year, split into 2 different ones, because that way that's where they can kind of introduce maybe a new trim level or an option, or make a change to a vehicle because of part constraints and that kind of stuff, or supply issues. Balance out, that's the end of production, or the balance out for particular model or option, or sometimes a color, like what's going on with the Edge and Explorer soon. So there you go. So that's that information there. So let's go ahead and drill through some of these, starting with the 24 model year Mustang. It is not scheduling this week. Order banks are open up if you want to place an order for a 24 model year Mustang. They plan to produce those through the end of this year. And there's currently 1,391 unscheduled orders in the order bank, which is not that many. Looks like, according to my notes, they usually make about 2,400 a month. So well within that capacity there. So there's really nothing there to be concerned about in the way of constraints or anything or capacities. So should be good to go on for the Mustang. Actually, you know what? Let me grab some sheet. So this week, they are still scheduling off of off of November, December's allocations. They are not scheduling. Of course, Mustang's not scheduling, but they are not scheduling for March production yet. That's probably going to start happening next week. So if some of you are kind of waiting because your dealer's allocations for January, February build dates, you got to wait one more week. So just so you know that this is not the week that they're going to start scheduling for yet. So there you go. Escape. I did want to look and see for March production. Their Mustang is going to try to build 2,900 units. So probably won't get into too much of that for this week because these numbers are for March production, which isn't happening until next week. So we'll get into that next week. All right. Moving to 24 model year Escape. It is not scheduling this week. So Escape has about 465 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order bank is open up for everything except for the base trim. And I know Escape, they make about 10,000 a month or something like that. I do have the final numbers for 2023 here. And it does look like on Escape, where is Escape? There it is. Yeah, they make about 13,000 a month of those. So easy, should not have an issue getting an Escape if you have one on order. Again, order banks are open up right now. All right. 24 model year Bronco Sport is not scheduling this week. It says no scheduling for Badlands until mid-March. Order banks are open up for Bronco Sport for all trim levels and packages and everything, even their newer ones that are out. There's currently only 267 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank, which 42% of those are Badlands. So almost half of those. So we know they will not schedule for a while. So everything else should schedule pretty quickly once they can start scheduling again next week for March production dates. So there you go. And they do make about 13,000 of those a month. So sorry about the nose there, but all right. 24 model year Edge. They're doing cleanup scheduling. So they're scheduling for production weeks, the weeks of February 5th through March 4th. And I believe that is for balance out. They are ending the Edge altogether. Does say exhaust availability for the Edge SEL version. Order banks are open up for everything except for the ST right now. And there's currently only 1,186 unscheduled retail orders. 11% of those are the 2.7 liter engine, which is ST. So they just will take those out of there because they're not going to happen. All right. Next is the 24 model year Ranger. Ranger is not scheduling this week. There's currently 2,717 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Ranger. Order banks are open up for the Ranger, including the Ranger Raptor. But I would kind of look, if you go to put in a Ranger Raptor order with a dealer, you might ask them if they have any available allocations. Because right now, all dealers have only been told about the one allocation that they have so far. And so we haven't gotten any information on when we'll be knowing that if we're going to get any extra allocations outside of that. That's what I have for that. 24 model year Bronco is not scheduling this week. And the order banks are currently open up right now. And there's currently 5,174 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Order banks are open up except for the Heritage Edition and Heritage Limited Edition. I should say that. But other than that, the order banks are open up. And this is where I want to actually bring on and show you this here. There we go. So this is something off of Bronco 6G that they've had on their website for a while, or this week, each week. And one of the things that I did, though, is I printed off theirs, and then made some notes on this for reference here. So a lot of people are saying, well, certain things are constrained because they're this is not color coded, but that's in red. And here's how you really need to be looking at this. So at the bottom of this, you can see that there's 5,174 orders in the order bank. So you can see the middle column says current U.S. order banks. So let me actually see if I don't think you can see my cursor, but right down the middle, it says at the top, that heading says current USOB. That's United States Order Bank. So let's look at the second one there. Black Diamond, the capacity is 8%. They build about 10,000 Broncos a month. So at 10,000 a month, they can make 800 Black Diamonds. Well, there's 600 orders in the order bank. So that is not a constraint. Even though 12% of the orders are Black Diamond, that's 12% of that lower number down here, which is the 5,100, right? Which is 601. But 8% of the 10,000 is 800. See where I'm going there? So this is, I think, information you need to know. So as you can see with that, everything is within the capacity. Big Ben, they can make 1,800 of those. There's currently only 728 orders in the order bank for that. Same way at Outer Banks, it's 2,300 is what they can produce. So there's currently only 1,115 of those. All those could get scheduled. Badlands is 2,000 versus only, what is that number, 670? Yeah, 670. Wild Trek, 1,500 versus only 600 orders in the order bank. Everglades, that is actually supposed to be 1%, which is 100. So they can build 100 Everglades a month. That's more than the 49 in the math that I learned in grade school. Heritage Edition, they can build 300. That's the only one that's probably constrained. You're 493. So there you go. You have more Heritage Edition orders than what they can build in the first month. So that one, if you have a Heritage Edition, you may not get scheduled for March production date. It may be April before you get scheduled. But all the others, look at if you keep going to the hardtops, two-door hardtop, 1,500 is what they can build. Well, they're under that. Same way on the hardtop. They're 6,700 hardtop Broncos they can build. They have less than that on orders in the order bank, even though that number says it's a negative there. So all those are that way. Even if you go down to the front lot or your Sasquatch package, right? They can make 4,000 a month, Sasquatch and Lux packages. There's still, both of those are below that number. So that's my point is, know how to read this when you see that in there. Help people if you're in there. I know RagnarCon does this each week. He kind of helps people. Wrong one. But if you are in the Bronco 6G and you see that, help those people out. Help them understand what that actually means, and that's not necessarily a negative, because, like I said, that middle column, that percentage on the right that says retail order bank, that is what's that bottom number, whereas the U.S. capacities is what they can produce off of what the normal month is, which is about 10,000 units. So keep that in mind. All right. Okay. 24 model year Maverick is scheduling. It's cleanup scheduling, and that would be for dealerships that have allocations. We don't have any. Production weeks for the week of January 1st through February 26th. Limited availability for the XL trim. Also for the black appearance package. Also the splash guards. Also are limited availability. Exhaust availability for the hybrid, for the tonneau cover hard trifold, as well as the tires that are on the XL and XLT. So that is the reason we see that exhausted now. That's not going to be that way next week when they reset for scheduling for March. It's for what they need to fill in for the spots for production for January and February. They have some open slots to place those in there. But again, a dealership has to have allocations. Order banks are open up for the Maverick for all trim levels. Actually surprised that they haven't closed the XL. But they are open up for all trim levels. There's currently 23,075 unscheduled retail orders, and I have an image of this one too. We can bring that up. So again, I got this off of the Maverick Truck Club,
which I absolutely love, because right there in the picture says confidential.
Yeah, it says confidential.
But it's getting thrown up on Maverick Truck Club.
Ford, you can get mad at me if you want, but I just pulled this off of there, printed it, and then wrote my own numbers in there. But this one here is different than Bronco, where they actually don't tell you how many orders. They just tell you percent of the orders. So again, using the number at the bottom, that 23,075 number, that column, it says retail order banks, 78% of the 23,000 orders are hybrid. Well, that comes out to 17,998. Now, that number is more than the 5,500 orders. So with this math, it'll probably take 4 months to get all the hybrids scheduled. So there is your constraint, hybrid. Next one, even gas, you look at that. There's currently 22% of the orders, which is 5,076. Capacity is 4,500. So it will even take even more than 1 month to schedule the gas. But, it's not too bad. The rest of them, XL is a big one. You can see that number. There's 57% of the orders in the order bank are XL, which is 13,152. Capacity is 2,300 in a month. So there you go. So, and I will say that there's been a couple months where they've been able to make 13,000. I'm basing this off of the production average that they had last year, which was 10,000. And I do know in March they don't plan to produce 10,000 even. And then you can see some of the other breakdowns there as well on that sheet. So that some of them, XLT luxury package is a little over what they could build in 1 month. Lariat luxury package, which basically all Lariats will have a Lariat luxury package. There you go. And trimmer, they're within that. Only 230 trimmer orders in the order bank, but they can build 1,000. So they would need trimmer orders. So if anything, you're thinking about doing order a trimmer, you probably can get scheduled for a March production date, depending on your dealer and allocation. So preference that. But there you go. So anyway, that's some of that information there when you're looking at that. So, all right. Again, I got that information from Maverick Truck Club. Even though I have that information, there you go.
He waited till it got leaked out there.
Yeah, I didn't put it on there either. All right. Next is the 24 model year Explorer. My nose is running. Not scheduling this week. Order banks are open up, but not for much longer. So get that order in. Don't have a lot of time there. And there's currently only 669 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Explorer. Next is a 24 model year Expedition. No scheduling this week. There's currently 772 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Don't forget Platinum's, I guess for next week, if you're looking at it, Platinum will require the 22-inch wheel, and Limited 302A will require sandstone interior, and the order banks are open up for the Expedition. All right. 24 model year Mach-E. No scheduling this week. There's currently only 30 orders, retail orders in the order bank for the Mach-E. 73% of those, well, it says non-GT all-wheel drive. So anyway, most of them, it says 50% are the LFP battery. Order banks are open up for the Mach-E for the Select and the Premium, but not the GT yet. Yeah, that's all I have on that. Next is the Super Duty. So, excuse me. So 24 model year Super Duty. Hold on. All right. 24 model year Super Duty. They looks like they are scheduled at the Kentucky Truck Plant for build dates January 29th through February 26th. Ohio for the week of February 26th. Those are the same notes as last week, I think. And they currently have 23,213 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. And it says, very important, it says required orders. They need F-250 and F-350 XL regular or crew cab with a 6.8 liter engine without the standard heavy duty alternator and the fifth wheel gooseneck hitch prep package. So they're needing some of those orders. And then limited availability for the F600 chassis cab. Limited availability, well, all these have limited availability. The fuel tank that's included in the Power Stroke diesel engine, the 6.7 liter. For the XL, XLT, and Lariat F350s, F450s, F550s, and F600s. The 20-inch chrome alloy wheel, standard on the chrome package. That wheel is limited. The 225/70R 19.5G traction tire that's standard on the F-450 pickup, as well as the tire 245/70R 19.5 that's optional on the chassis cab F600 XL or XLT, as well as the 245/70R 19.5 standard that's on the chassis cab F600 XL and XLT. Also, the wheel, the 18-inch machine and painted alloy wheel that's included with the trimmer off-road package. So that would be an issue with your trimmer off-roads. So, and then the LK frame, as well as the max recline seats. The 4x4 Dana axle, almost forgot that one. That's optional on the 450, 550, and 600. The power deployable running boards is optional on the Lariat, standard on King Ranch Platinum, and Limited is unlimited availability. The headlamp that's standard on the Limited and it says premium, but I think it means platinum. So I think that's the projector LED is limited. The 203-inch wheelbase fuel tank with the low sulfur diesel fuel, and also the fifth wheel hitch kit, and then the tailgate step. So those are all things that are a little bit harder to get there. So don't forget about those. And then, constraint wise. They don't even have this. They took off some of the stuff from the constraint list this week. They did change some of the percentages for this week on the high output diesel engine. It was 10%. It is now 19% is what they can build the high output. So if they've increased that production, that is great news for a lot of people with a high output, because that was 10%. So that has been changed for this week. So we'll see if it carries over for next week when there's more allocations for dealers. So I know we still have some allocations that weren't granted yet and fulfilled. So hopefully we get some of those scheduled for our customers. So, all right, 24 model year F-150. They are scheduling for the week of February 26th. There's currently 6,296 unscheduled F-150 orders, not counting Lightning or Raptor. And let's see, the only thing in here, limit availability for the tonneau cover, pickup box cover, 96J, and limit availability for the LT 265/70R18C all-terrain tire. I think that's a tire for the trimmer's not available yet. Anyway, order banks are open up for the F-150 except for trimmer. And don't forget, I always forget to mention this, but that Pro Access tailgate isn't going to be on your orders yet for those that are hoping to get that. All right, lastly, 24 model year Transit. They are scheduling for the production week of February 26th. Says we encourage our dealers to submit Transit Trail orders with remaining allocation. So if you have an allocation, they're trying to get you to put that in there. Currently, 6,209 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Limit availability for the electric, the E-Transit, the high roof, low passenger van, the four-wheel drive, and the extended length running boards. Order banks are open up for that. So again, these notes, when I go over these, are for this week. And they can change from week to week. A lot of times we see them the same most weeks, but in some cases, just like with the Transit, we did see there was a lot more things that weren't available or were limited last week, but are available this week. So they do change from week to week with those capacities and constraints. So keep that in mind. And also keep in mind that scheduling for this week and the notes that I mentioned is only for this week. And this is based off of December's allocations earned for January, February build dates. We saw most of those build dates were in February. They're not scheduling yet for March production dates. They usually schedule about 2 months in advance. So that'll probably start next week, I would assume. So anyway, there you go. Any questions?
About schedule?
Man, I am sorry for the runny nose, folks. I'm sure it's a pain to listen to.
I had to go and get water.
Yeah, so I don't know. What's funny is my nose hasn't been running all day until about 30 minutes before the live stream. Really weird. I blame that on you guys. Just kidding. All right. Any questions?
Possibly. Are order banks open for Lightning?
That was going to be part of my topic to talk about later.
Okay.
But the answer is no, they're not open right now. But I have more information about whether or not they're closed for good.
Okay. So we haven't hit your topic yet.
If you can stick around for that. If not, yeah.
Okay. Any restrictions on Lariat F-150 with black appearance package?
No, in fact, it's actually pretty well within its capacity. So I think you're good there. I mean, having that on there should not be a something that would stop yours from getting scheduled. So I think you should be good.
Yep. Do you think that an Everglades could get scheduled this week?
If your dealer has no, when they're not scheduled this week.
No.
So maybe next week, if your dealer has allocations.
Right. If your dealer has allocations, it could get scheduled.
That has a lot to do with it. I can't really tell you that, oh, yeah, yours should get scheduled next week. I can say if your dealership has an allocation and your Everglades order is maybe the first Everglades order or the second or third, then it might get scheduled. But I can't, without looking at your dealer's orders and the allocations they're going to get, I can't foresee. I can't tell you for sure, right? But I can tell you that there's only 49 Everglades orders in the order bank, and they make about 100 a month. There's a pretty good chance that you should get scheduled for a March build date if your dealership has available allocations. And I say that because it looks like we're fighting right now, but with the team, but looks like we're not going to get any Maverick allocations this month. So luckily, we have all of our carryover orders have been scheduled. The only ones that are unscheduled right now are new orders for us for this year. But so most of those people just put in their orders with us. But yeah, so there you go.
I had my dealer remove all 3 of my options on my Ranger Raptor. I hope it gets scheduled. Will this help?
Yeah, I'd love to know what options you removed. So, because there's not really any constraints on Ranger Raptor necessarily.
Yeah.
So I'd love to know what. Yeah. Now, if you had like a bed cover and something like that, or splash guards, then I say that's a great idea. But for the way Ranger Raptor goes is each dealership, they get their Raptor allocation when they get the Raptor allocation. Every dealer gets one right now. We have not been told yet if any dealer's getting more than one. So if your dealership's only getting one allocation, then it won't matter what you do to your order. It won't get scheduled if somebody else is ahead of you already and it's been scheduled. Like for us, we got our one. It's already been scheduled. So anybody else wants to put a Ranger Raptor order with us, I can't help you because I don't have an available allocation until Ford chooses to give more out to dealers. So we'll see how that goes. But that's a little bit different in how that works. And basically they say, hey, here's your allocation for Raptor. Which of your orders do you want selected? And then the dealership tells the sales and inventory specialist, here, this is the order we want scheduled with this allocation. So we get this. We're actually one of the top 60 F-150 Raptor dealers in the country. So we know a little bit about how that works. Like Bronco Raptor this month, I think we were supposed to get like one allocation or something. So we know a lot of times, how that works, how that system works. So anyway, they usually, we pick the order, and we always like to put the order in for the customers and put them in order of that. So we know which order is going to be first, second, third, and we just tell them in that way. But there you go. He said he's the only Ranger Raptor order, and he took off bedliner, keypad, engine block heater. I would say the bedliner might be a good idea. Keypad and engine block heater should not be a problem.
No.
Neither one of those. But the block heater actually went up in price. We're going to talk about that in a second.
Yep. Would Ford accept your order if they didn't have an allocation?
Yep.
Yes, because you are putting it into an order database, and then your dealer gets allocations each month, so you can place an order without having an allocation and then wait for an allocation, and then it gets fulfilled at some point.
Yeah, like we had 700. I mean, at one point we had 700 Maverick orders, but we didn't get 700 allocations that month. So you can put in as many orders as you want. I go in and put in 10 Bronco Raptor orders right now, but I don't have 10 allocations.
Right, because isn't it like Toyota or Chevrolet that they don't allow them to place an order unless they have an allocation?
I don't know.
There's a manufacturer that I've actually heard of this. The manufacturer will not let them place an order unless they have an allocation. So their order banks are closed until that dealer gets their allocations for that month, and then they can place that many orders and that many orders only.
Not a bad idea, but
at the same time, how do you keep track of their orders? How do you know who's in line? Because I mean, you'd have to create a master list over the whole dealership.
Well, and also, and then if you got a customer who's like, can I place an order with you? And you're like, no, I can't submit an order for this. Then you got to go find another dealer and another dealer.
Yeah.
I know that this is something that came up on some of the comments this week on the scheduling notes email or video that I did for that. I take that video, the segment we just did, into its own video on Wednesday. And some people said the priority system is broken. It shouldn't even exist. And I'm like, it works fine for what it's intended to do, and then to stack your orders. Like for Maverick, we had carryover orders for Maverick. So we wanted to stack those and put our, and of course, Ford stacked them for us and gave them priority twos. But like right now, we actually have somebody that had a 23 model year Bronco Heritage Edition order. And we had to carry it over. Well, Ford wasn't given, I think they ended up giving them private offers, but they're not prioritizing their order necessarily. Well, what did we do? We went ahead and made sure anybody that had a 23 that went unscheduled, they're a priority 3 in our system. And so when they go to, and that one's not getting selected first. And like, that's what somebody said is that priority, the highest priority is not getting selected first. Well, in this case, they're not scheduling Heritage Edition orders. So even though he's a priority 3, his it can be looked at that his is being overlooked, but it's because the configuration they're looking for is not, they're not scheduling for. So once they schedule for a Heritage Edition, his will be the first order that's looked at and will be selected. But if there's constraints, so again, going back to the configuration, like the customer on the Ranger Raptor, he took off the bedliner, the spray and bedliner. Let's say the capacity for spray and bedliner was a low number on the Ranger Raptor, right? By taking that off, he's more likely to get selected than if he has it on there. They might overlook his order because they've already scheduled however many percentage would be on the spray and bedliner. So less things you have optional equipment on there, sometimes the better off, because they can compound on each other, right? So on a Bronco, if you have a high package and a Sasquatch and a hardtop, see, we have 3 different things there, but right now shouldn't be a problem with any of those for Bronco, but in some models that's a problem.
Yeah.
Right. Maverick, for instance, when they have 17,000 unscheduled XL orders and they can only build 2,300 in that month, and somebody has an XL but also put in a tonneau cover, you're just hurting yourself, because they have 16,000 orders ahead of yours that they could select. And if they have one without a bed cover, they're going to pick that one. Yeah. Right. Doesn't matter what your priority is with your dealer.
Yeah.
So again, there's a lot that goes into it, and probably a lot more than I don't know that even goes into it. That's just some of the things that I've noticed, and out of the orders we've had.
All of this has been accumulation of patterns and seeing how things are working for years.
Yeah. And when we had 700 Maverick orders and we had, a lot of allocations, going through and looking at that and then being able to go through and figure and kind of geek out a little bit on the numbers, and okay, this order got selected, but this one didn't. It had a higher timestamp and a lower, we are able to learn some things having 700 Maverick orders last year. So anyway, there you
go. When are the first 24 F-150s coming in? Don't know.
Yeah, they started building them, right?
Already? Yeah, they start building. And so we should see them
seeing them pretty soon.
I mean, we have some on our website that say that they're incoming.
Yeah, should be soon.
So they're in transit.
Yep. All right. Any other questions?
Well, Philip's asking where can he see his order? And he works at a dealership. Yes, it's in Webdo.
Yeah, it's in Webdo.
Yeah.
So yeah, the dealer, whoever, we have certain people that have access to Webdo. I'm one of those here. Typically your sales managers will. We do actually have a couple sales guys that have access to Webdo.
But they've been here for years and they've been top sellers. And
well, and one of them is because he's a fleet.
Yeah, he's our fleet.
He orders the fleet orders for police departments and fire departments, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah,
Special circumstances.
yeah. So you probably would need to go to a sales manager for them to be able to see the order. But yeah. But again, yeah, there you go.
Especially if you're in service, unless they've opened it up for all of their employees.
No, I don't know. I don't think there's a cap on who can get access and who can't. But so probably not. But anyway,
I'm guessing that there is an occasional store out there that didn't know how to set it up correctly and just copy and pasted all the settings and all the permissions.
I don't know. All right. Any other questions first on scheduling? And we're just kind of going through scheduling questions for right now, and then we'll get the bulk of questions just a little bit. It's not a lot of dealer news or recalls to go over, right?
Here we go. I've seen many folks with similar orders as mine getting scheduled this past month or so. If I can figure out my dealer has an allocation issue not getting my schedule, would it help or would it benefit me to replace my order with a different dealer?
Possibly. Again, so it really, like you said, depending on how many allocations are available. So I've seen this happen a lot where people are like, wait a minute, mine's not getting scheduled. I've seen a lot of people getting scheduled out there. Well, if they're at a dealership that doesn't have a lot of orders, but they have plenty of allocations, then that's where you can see that happen. Whereas if you're at a dealership that maybe has less allocations but more Super Duty orders, that's probably where you're seeing the glitch there. So having a conversation with them and saying, well, I do know that if you don't have enough allocations, then it won't get scheduled, right? So how many allocations do you have left for this week or are going to get scheduled this week? Because it actually lets you know that. Like we have 10. I know that they want to use 10 of our allocations this week for our Super D. We have 10. We have 10 left. They're wanting to schedule those. Well, do we have more than 10 orders? Not all of them will get scheduled this week if we have more than 10 orders, right? Same thing on that. I will say Platinum's difficult, especially if you added that high output engine. But again, it does go with the dealership, so you can do that. I've actually seen people put in orders with multiple dealerships for that reason. And I get that, especially if the dealership's not telling you, how many allocations they have versus how many orders they have, then it does make it more difficult for you to try to get your order scheduled, right? So anyway. All right.
These are good questions.
Yep. And that Super Duty, I mean, we're getting a lot of questions on that Super Duty Platinum. Yep. We have somebody, one of our members that has an order with us, Platinum high output. And I'm like, it might take a little longer for yours to get scheduled because Platinum is scheduling a very low percentage. High output, now, well, we just found out for this week, at least it went up almost double, which is good. But he's willing to wait because he knows, I know it could take longer. And he knows, we are the number one Super Duty in Kansas and one of the top I think we're number 2 in the entire Kansas City region for Super Duty sales. So we will get one of the most in the Midwest, in these 4 states here in the Midwest, we get more allocations than about anybody else. And we've had a lot of dealerships upset with us because of it, yeah. But it's because we were taking orders early. So now we have lots of allocations and we sell a lot of Super Duties. So we're going to keep getting allocations. So because of that,
we can take a lot.
We can take more orders and we might get them scheduled a little bit quicker. So,
yep.
I have a Super Duty on order with you. How are these progressing? I'd have to look that up. Yeah, I don't know how many unscheduled. I was actually.
And if you order with us and you ever want an update, give us a call.
Send us
email us. Email it would be easy. Then I, have a paper trail and I can go, okay, yep, they want it. It's right there.
Yeah, we have 14 allocations for this week. We do know, what do they say? They are scheduling for Kentucky, because if you're looking for, like, I don't know about your order, but it just depends. Let me go down through here. So if I look at, I just want 2024s and I just want to see my unscheduled. We have 47 unscheduled orders in there. Yeah, we even have some starting to preview this week. So we can even, if we knew your order number, it'd be a lot easier for me to look it up. But yeah, if you just email us,
Yeah.
we can kind of see if you're even previewing. You know, and we can sometimes see. I am seeing that that's an XL that's previewing. We have a Lariat that's previewing. Let's see, what is 703? Is 703 a platinum? I think that might be a platinum that's previewing. Maybe not. There's an XLT that's previewing. So again, a lot of our orders though might be things that Ford's not looking for. So we have 5 that are previewing right now, and most of them are There's XLT, a Lariat, an XLT. It looks like, and an XL. So we don't even have any platinums and King Ranchers and such that are previewing this week right now. So again, it just takes a little longer for some of those. But again, we're supposed to have 14 allocations and only 5 previewing this week. So tomorrow we'll probably have some other orders that are previewing. And previewing means that Ford's kind of looking at those to possibly schedule.
It's
usually
a Dan customer.
So there you go. And then so one of those is a high output, by the way. I do see that. So we have one high output that is previewing. So
do we have any that are Dan's customers?
Not that's previewing.
Okay.
Not an order that's previewing. But
all right.
Yep. Anyway, but yeah, we can email Sarah Davis at Law McArthur or Timothy Bartz at Gmail, and
we can certainly help you with that.
Yep, we can help you out with that. So there you go. All right. Any other questions on that?
We're good.
All right. Go move into dealer news updates. We don't have a lot. Got a couple, and we'll get more as things progress. But Ford's slowly getting back up and running. All right. Dealer news updates. The first one I have here is for price increases, and I say that, but let's be calm about this. The price increase is for the engine block heater. So if you don't have it, if you don't have an engine block heater on your order, or if you already had yours ordered, it doesn't matter because you're price protected to that price. But the engine block heater went up, actually significant, because this actually says an increase of the engine block heater price of $90 for the Mustang. Normally, engine block heater is $90. To increase that much is a significant increase. Escape, that says increased engine block heater price $40. Edge, increased engine block heater $100. Explorer's $100. Expedition $90. Bronco Sport $90. Bronco $90. Maverick $100. Ranger $100, and F-150 $100. So again, don't forget, these prices, these increases started January 3rd. If you had an order already put in the system prior to that, and you had engine block heater already on your order, then you won't see these, should not see these price increases. Make sure your dealership doesn't try to raise your price when it comes in to the new price, but based on your original price. So hopefully you guys kept your order sheets. But there you go. So always got to talk about price. But when we talk about price protection, it's in case they do things like this, where they increase the price in the middle of the model year, you are price protected to what it was when you ordered. That's the easiest, simplest way for me to explain to dealers and other customers when talking about that is what your price was when you ordered is what you pay. It's that simple. Dealers, it's that simple. Customers, it's that simple. So when you ordered your vehicle, you should have got a printout by your dealer that showed what that price was. Keep a copy of that. Keep that. When it comes in, if there's a price increase throughout the model year, it's going to show a different price because there was a price increase. But you show them this is what it was when I ordered. And if they try to say, no, I'm price protected to my original price when I ordered, not that price increase. So sometimes you might have to fight for it because some dealers are ignorant when it comes to that. So, all right. Anyway, I got a bunch of videos on this. So just go to our YouTube channel and just search price protection on our YouTube channel, and you're going to find all kinds. We've talked on the live stream over and over. So, anyway, there you go. The other one, the last news update I have is change to the Super Duty tie down plates. So just say the 24 model year Super Duty features a design change involving the tie down points available in the bed of the truck. Our teams have engineered new available tie down plates that provide 4 tie-down points available to the customers. Tie-down plates are standard on XLT Lariat King Ranch Platinum and limited Super Duty pickups, and included in the STX appearance package and XL Chrome package on XL trucks. The new tie-down plates are designed to provide the same functionality to customers as the box link cleats provided on prior Super Duty models. Box link cleats are not compatible with the new tie-down plates. Customers that wish to equip box link cleats are able to purchase the box link standard interface plates and attachable cleats from Ford Accessories. So they're going from, you can see that they're going from this right here to a plate that looks like that. Right. So it looks different than the original box link plate. So they are making that change to the orders. So if you want box link, you need to make sure you add the box link so you can have something like this where you have the cleat, tie down cleat. We get so many trade-ins where they never open that up. So this may not be a big deal to most people, but otherwise it's going to look like that. So the plate will look different now. So there you go. That's on 24 model year Super Duties. So, all right. Probably don't have a lot of questions about that, right?
No.
All right. We're going to move on then to recalls.
I already have a question about that. So
recalls?
Yeah.
Oh, a lot. I don't remember all the past ones. Like we cover so many recalls that I'm like, I don't know if they've updated that recall. I have to do research. I don't know off the top of my head, but here we go. This first one is actually on some older models. So this is an advance notice for a safety recall 23S64. I think actually Ford Authority posted this on a post on their website. So certain 2016 to 2022 model year vehicles equipped with the 1.0 liter Fox engines. That would be what you'd find on the EcoSport and the Focus back in the day. So it does say Focus 2016 to 2018 and EcoSport 2017 to 2022. Says there's 135,820 vehicles affected by this. And it says in some of the affected vehicles, the engine oil pump drive belt tensioner arm may fracture, separate from the tensioner backing plate, and or the oil pump drive belt material may degrade and lose teeth, resulting in a loss of engine oil pressure. A loss of engine oil pressure can result in engine damage and or seizure, which can result in a loss of motive power and a loss of the mechanical vacuum pump required to provide power braking assist, increasing the risk of a crash. Says customer notifications. Owners of record will be notified via first-class mail after repair instructions and part ordering information has been provided to dealers. So again, this is an advance notice. So this has not been released yet out there because it looks like they don't have the parts available quite yet, but they know of it and want to make sure that the dealers. So this is usually just given to dealers, but again, some people get it publicly. All right, this other one, the second one, I only have two, is Customer Satisfaction Program 23B70 for certain 22 to 23 model year F-150 Lightnings, right? And so these are 35,069 vehicles are affected by this recall. Or the customer program, basically. So the battery monitor sensor may randomly underreport the actual 12-volt battery capacity during an over-the-air software update, which means that customers might be unable to complete the OTA software updates on their vehicles. So it says dealers are to inspect the part number of the battery monitoring sensor, the part number printed on the BMS, and it has the actual number there. They are to replace the BMS with service part number, and it has that part number there. This service may be performed on all affected vehicles at no charge to the owner. Letters are going out the week of January 22nd to owners that would be affected by this. So there you go. That's important. You need your OTA. So if you've been out there in a Lightning and you've been in years hasn't been able to complete the OTA, that might be why. So, but letters are going out, so evidently they know what's wrong. You might be able to go in now and get it fixed. If yours is having that issue, maybe it already has that recall. So there you go. All right. Any questions so far?
The only one I had was on the Bronco wiper blades. Do you remember that recall?
Yeah, I had that one done on mine, I think.
Okay. Someone said that they just got a letter from Ford on the Bronco windshield wiper about his Bronco. It made it seem like it's going to take a while to fix.
Mine didn't take long. But I work here, so I bring actually he said, hey, I got a recall for your Maverick. I'm like, yeah, I didn't drive the Maverick today. And so I'm like, he said, well, next time you drive the Maverick in, let me know and we'll just go out. We can actually do it where you're parked. It's called a mobile service. Anyway, and so they just go out and fix it while I'm here. So I don't know how long it takes on half these things, but there you go.
Well, no, he's saying it sounds like parts and such, it's going to take a while before they have a fix for it.
I think I had mine done already, the wiper one.
Check with your dealer.
I think I had mine done already.
Yeah. Don't worry about the letter. The letter goes out. Check with your dealer. They'll let you know if they can fix it now or if they need to order parts or what needs to be done in your instance.
Yep. So, yeah, man, I think that's the one that they did on my Bronco, like real quick. Because sometimes they just have to look at it because it may not need the part. They may just have to just check it. So then it wouldn't take as long, but it just depends.
Yeah.
All right.
That was all I had.
Okay.
Onward.
Man. Evidently, being outside, snowplow today got to me. But the show must go on, right? All right.
I think it's the dry air.
You know, it might be because earlier when we were outside the picture building, my nose just I could tell the dry air was just getting to it.
I was just thinking that all my problems started when we went to Vegas. It's extremely dry there. There was no dampness. Then we come home and winter starts and it starts to dry out the atmosphere here. And we haven't really had rain. I really think that all my problems started in Vegas and they can't solve because of the dry atmosphere.
I'm going to have to move to Moab because when we were there, man, no problems.
I'm about to move to Colorado because I had no problems when we were in Colorado. But Lebo absolutely hates the cold. Cannot stand it.
He doesn't like heights either. Okay. All right. This week's Is It True actually is a question that we had last week that I couldn't answer. And I got an answer this week. So is it true that you get the body colored bumpers on the Ranger with the technology package? Remember this was asked last week?
Yes.
In our Q&A, and I didn't have an answer because if you go to Ford's Build and Price and you have the Ranger comes standard with the Sport Appearance package on the XLT and the Lariat. When you add a technology package, the image shows the bumpers going to body colored. So I reached out to the brand manager and said, hey, wanting some clarification on this because according to the order guide, technology package doesn't include any change to the bumpers, but yet the Build and Price has them change. And actually they thanked us. They said, thanks for bringing this to our attention. The Build and Price must have an issue. That is not what happens. You keep your Sport Appearance package bumpers. So I don't know if they're on the stream this week or not, but whoever that had that question, I know they said that theirs are being built like this week. There you go. It will be built with the Sport Appearance package bumpers, not.
So the person asking the question wasn't having theirs built that week. It was still like a couple weeks off, but there was someone else that was having theirs built this week.
Oh, so
that said I'll be the experiment.
Yes, the guinea pig. So there you go.
Gators Ed Tech is in here. He said, thanks for finding out the answer.
So there you go. That's the answer. So, and I have another answer to something that we reached out as well from the brand manager, which is what's on my mind. So, I didn't do the Is It True click image there. Oops, forgot that. All right. So this week, what's on my mind is I got to thinking about what is going on with the 24 model year Lightning. We've seen for one of them. I mean, let's talk. There's a price increase that just came out. So the MSRP pricing has been changed at effective January 3rd for the 24 model year F-150 Lightning. And again, if you ordered your 24 prior to the 3rd, you should be price protected, right? Don't worry about that. Or, well, you might want to worry because your dealership might not want to try to give it to you, but you should be price protected to that price level. That's price level 415 for 24 model year. But the new price level, which is PL 420, increased the Pro version by $5,000, increased the XLT version by $7,500, the Flash trim by $3,500, the Lariat went up $2,000, Platinum went down 5,000. So they realized nobody's buying the Platinums. Anyway, so that is the price increases or decreases if you're looking at a Platinum for that. So now the Lariat starts at $79,495. By the way, you can't add the mobile power cord for $500 and still be under $79,995 for your tax credit. So if you're wondering that, going, but you can't add anything else. Lariat already comes standard extended range, $79,495. Add your mobile charger and you're done. You add anything else, you're not getting the tax credit, so you can't add the tow package and everything else. So Ford, I don't know. This is actually one of those rants. Ford, what are you doing? Anyway, it's not like the vehicle is worth any more now than it was last month before you print your prices, but this should be my rant. Anyway, there you go. Also, we noticed because we actually had a lot of people that reached out to us last week and said, I want to order a 24 model year Lightning. We went in to go order and we couldn't order. Right now, currently, dealers are not able to order a 24 model year F-150 Lightning. Doesn't matter what trim level, none at all. And by the way, you cannot order a Pro anymore unless you're a fleet customer. So you got to go XLT at the very minimum now if you're a retail customer. But I did get information because it was locked out. They normally what Ford will do is they'll let dealerships know ahead of time. Hey, we're going to be closing an order bank. Order bank will close next week. It'll close in a couple of days. Get your orders in, that kind of thing. Nothing. All of a sudden we went in, can't order. It says early balance out. So we found out finally today. Actually emailed them last week. Got nothing. Thankfully, Google gives me a little nudge. Have you got one of those before? A little nudge email. It says, hey, did you want to follow up on this? So I was like, yeah, I do, actually. I still don't have an answer. So I emailed back and I said, so do we get any information on this? Found out, it says there is a temporary pause in place for ordering Lightnings. The ability to order will resume in the coming weeks. Further dealer communication will be provided. Again, Ford, what were you thinking? You should have gave us a dealer communication that this was happening to begin with, because I'm sure a lot of dealers have said order banks are closed. You can't order a Lightning. You just have to buy one in stock, right, at this point. So I'm sure a lot of dealers have told their customers we can't order. We need to make sure all of our sales guys know, because we've had several people want to order a Lightning. So we just need to hold off until it opens back up. But it's going to open back up at the new prices. So, but if you're looking for a Lightning and you're okay with a 2023 model year, we got them 15 grand off right now. So just saying, throwing that out there. If you're looking to get a Lightning, we got XLTs, we got Lariats, we got 12, I think, available right now, and 15 grand off. So not that I'm trying to sell, but that's what I do. Anyway, also, if you're looking for a Bronco, we just lowered those down on our lot. Wow, we got to sell them because we don't want to miss allocations. We got till the 20th. We got 11 days to sell down some of our Broncos. So we got stupid cheap. We got Bronco Raptors at sticker.
Yeah.
2 Bronco Raptors at sticker. And then other Broncos are more than 2 grand off, right?
Yeah.
We got one that's 3 grand off. I know that.
Yeah.
You repriced those. I can't remember.
Which one?
I don't know. Our Big Bens are like, what they're like $2,000 or $2,200 off now.
You know, when I'm repricing, I don't actually look at
Yeah.
how much off they are. I
Which
just
vehicle it
reprice
is.
it.
Yeah. We got a Badlands that we've had, and I think it's $3,000 off. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. So yeah, I don't know on the Lightning. So we'll see how things go. I thought, they did tell us that they were going to close the order banks within 30 days, and then all of a sudden it was closed on the 3rd, and that was like a week after they said that, and I'm like, wow, okay, really? So I don't know. So anyway, so they'll open it back up at some point, but there you go. So, and by the way, on our Lightning, the $15,000, $7,500 of that is your tax credit, because we can give that right away. So the website's supposed to open up for the IRS website, supposed to open up to submit those on the 16th. So we're submitting ours. We already got instructions on how to do it and everything, because you have to do it within 3 days of purchasing the vehicle. So anyway, yeah.
Ragnarcon says a Badlands $3,000 off must be infected with the soft top virus.
No, it's a hard top. In fact, we don't even have any soft tops in stock.
We don't. Nope, they're all hard top.
I got a soft top, and mine's just fine. Maybe you had to get a first year soft top. I don't know.
Well, I guess the thing about it was that soft tops aren't as modular as Broncos when adding things to the top, except now RTR has that rack.
Oh,
that
yeah.
takes care of that.
I thought about that at one point. I thought I wanted to get a hard top so that I could put a refractor or tent. And to be honest, I'm not going to climb up on top of my Bronco to sleep. Forget it. Not happening. I'll crawl on the back of the Bronco and sleep. I'm not going to crawl up. I'm 50. I don't even know how old I am. I'm way too old for that. Let's just say that. I'm not doing that. So plus one of the things, the convenience that I like, and I know my wife likes on the cloth top, is that if we decide, hey, it's a nice day, flip, pop it back, and now you have open view for the first and the second row on the 4-door to be able to see out the top. So I'm a cloth top fan, and I like it, and I also feel like I get a convertible without having to drive a Mustang. Right?
Yeah, there's a class that's convertible.
And within 5 minutes, I can have the 3 outside windows off of there, and I can pop it further back if I really want. So I don't know. I think that's a little more convenient. If I want to do that in the hard top, I got 2 panels that I can take off, and I could still store them in the back. But that big panel, have fun.
Yeah, both Badlands are 2.7 Sasquatch with hard tops.
Yeah. There you go.
I guess now's not the season for buying Bronco, which I believe it is.
Yeah, they're all hardtop, and they're much quieter. And we have I didn't tell you that, but we got a product coming possibly to make it even quieter. Yeah.
Okay.
We have videos coming once we get that figured out. We're going to go through the whole process and everything. We got levels of quietness, and we're going to measure it with a decibel meter and everything. So, yeah, that was one of the. We have certain people around here at the dealership that they would love to have a Bronco, but it's too loud. And I was like, that's part of it. It's part of owning a Bronco or a Jeep. Anyway. All right. Any questions?
Not on that.
Well, Q&A time now. Let's go. Open it up for Q&A. Any questions?
Yes. Start from the top here. Wait, we got his. Okay. How long is the average wait time for a 24 Ranger?
Right now they just started building them. So I mean, I think now that they're starting for production started, I think it'll be faster. But a lot of people put those Ranger orders in the summer and they still haven't seen them, but that's a little bit skewed from if you put your order in now, right?
Yeah.
So since production has now started as of last week, I think last week it started. A lot of people have build dates this week, next week. I think we have 5 Rangers that are scheduled to be built next week. So we should see them, at the end, by the end of February. So, again, depending on dealer, depending on allocations. Like for us, we only get like 2 Ranger allocations a month. I mean, we don't sell a lot of Rangers. It's just, hasn't been a big seller for us here. We're in farming area. Everybody gets F-150s around here. So, we don't, I don't even know how many. Looks like we have 19 orders in the order bank for Ranger. We have 7 unscheduled, and we have 2 allocations next month. See, so it's going to could take a couple months. Actually, 2 of those are, 2 of those are Raptors, but until we get allocations, they're not going to get scheduled, right? So now we have 5. So, 2 of those will get scheduled this month. The other 2 to 3, it'll be next month, right? Actually, one's a stock. So hold on. Take that one out. All right. So we have 4. So half of them will get scheduled this week or for March production. The other half are going to be for April production. So again, depending on your dealer, if they have available allocations for March production, then you could see it in April, right? So, all right. Next question.
All right. Looking to order a 24 Platinum Plus F-150. Any Pro Access tailgate news? I've heard Job 2 availability. Normally, orders open in March, but everyone is behind this year.
Okay. I don't know about orders in March. But right now we don't have any news on Pro Access tailgate or Tremor. I think they're both going to come at the same time when we get the news. But yeah, probably be a Job 2. Typically, though, Job 2 is like not necessarily halfway through the production, but remember, production started in December. So if you figure 6 months, you figure Job 2 may be May or somewhere around there. So I don't know. I mean, but we don't have news on it yet. That's all I can tell. And we'll probably get news that, hey, now we're doing this for now. If you put your orders in, then they'll start having them starting with this production week. But no information yet on that.
All right. When will Ford start putting in the 2.7 in the Ranger? Will they put the 3.0 in the Ranger?
Okay, first of all, 3.0 is your Raptor. So only way you're getting a 3.0 is if you order a Ranger Raptor. The 2.7 though, again, that's we think that's a Job 2 thing, and we don't have any information on that yet either. So I wish I could give you guys better news and have the answers for you, but not yet. So there you go.
All right. Are you seeing so many more 5.5 beds on lots because they are easier to maneuver? I've been surprised how few 6.5 foot beds are on the lots.
Yeah, we see. In fact, when we trade for a 6.5 foot bed Super Crew, we struggle to sell it. So I think part of it is maneuverability, and I think part of it is people don't like the look of it having that bigger bed.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah, we just most people will get the 5.5 foot bed. In fact, if you look, I think this year for 24 model year, there's even nowhere situations where you can't even get a 6.5 foot bed unless you like 4x4 or certain trim levels doesn't even have the 6.5 foot bed as an option. So, yeah, we're seeing less customers actually get the 6.5 foot bed. So, yeah, so you'll probably struggle to find one on a lot. It might be easier for you to order one. So.
Francis Arrigo got in yesterday afternoon. He said, thanks for everything. It was great meeting you all.
Awesome. And that was in Maine, right? He was going to Maine, and
yes.
Then he's going to head down to Florida. So
he was going to Minnesota or
Massachusetts,
and then
Maine.
to Maine, and then down to Florida. So which one are you talking about?
I think Maine. All right. Good. He said he had a snowstorm somewhere, I think.
Yeah. All right. Gene Hanks, Smart Vincent shows some kind of private offer for me. I'm wondering if it could be for my 24 Maverick.
Okay, so if I had someone else I was trying to help on Reddit with this. And so here's the deal. If you had originally put in a 22 or a 23 model year Maverick order that went unscheduled, you will have a private offer in Smart Vincent, or you should have, for your 24 Maverick, right? That's how that should work. Now, if you are first ordering a 24, did not order a 23 model year, then more than likely there are some other private offers that are going out. They're called ICI private offers, and that are good for up to $2,000 depending on the vehicle. Like Super Duties get 2,000, some other vehicles get like 750, but they're usually not applicable to a Maverick. So they're depending on the private offer. So I always say the wording on the private offer for if you had a transition private offer is what it's called, or for those that had a 23 model year order that went unscheduled, so the dealership had to put a 24 in for you. That's that transition private offer, and that should showing up in Smart Vincent for by the dealer. So
All right.
all right.
My Race Red OBX is in production. I have learned a lot from your videos and wanted to say thanks. Now I have to patiently wait until she's delivered to you.
Awesome. So yeah, 4 to 6 weeks probably.
Probably. My Maverick is scheduled to be built next week. Can I add my wife's name to the order without losing Z-Plan and Ford offer for my 23 to 24 rollover? So you can't add it onto your order, like your specific order. It's going to stay under your name, but your wife can be added onto the title
and the paperwork.
and the paperwork.
So when you buy the vehicle, right, you can add her on.
When ordering a vehicle, you're only putting one name. They only allow one name. So then when you purchase the vehicle, you just add that person as a secondary or the primary, depending on whichever you go with.
Yep. So you have to be either the buyer or the I think, I even have to be the buyer if you ordered to get any kind of offers and all that. So anyway, but yeah, you'll want to be on, they can be on there with you.
Yep. I learned that Dark Horse staggered flat fitted tires cannot be rotated. Do you know if that's true?
Well, yeah. You can't.
You can't rotate those
because the rear ones are wider than the front ones.
Oh,
so you can't move them to the front.
That makes sense.
But I don't know if they rotate them. I assume they rotate them left and right, though. I don't know. That's true.
I mean, if you're racing and you're doing.
Hold on, because I can't remember now. I can't remember on Dark Horse. I know if you have the handling package, they're 11 in the back and 10.5 in the front.
Yeah.
I think they're 9.5 on the. I think they're 9.5 on the front and the back. So it depends if you have a handling package, but I might be wrong on that. Like I said,
but if you're racing and you're on a track and you're going one way the entire time, it might be pertinent to. I don't know. I don't know much about the racing world.
Anyway, tires after one race.
Yeah, you don't have tires after a race. Forget about it. Have we heard anything about the incentive for the UAW offer that will take $1,500 off a new vehicle?
Yep, that is on there. That's in there. It's kind of like a Farm Bureau rebate that shows up. So it's always I think it's always from here on out, at least for right now that I know of, that's going to be in Smart Vincent. And you just have to show proof that you're a UAW worker or a membership or whatever it is. And then you'll be able to get that, just like if you're a Farm Bureau member. Now, I don't know if that'll be applicable to be any other offers like Farm Bureau or anything, but we have noticed it in Smart Vincent. So, yep.
I'm just checking the messages that popped up while I was out doing questions. We are very surprised Bronco doesn't have rear HVAC vents or vented seats. That's a deal breaker here in the South. Thought we saw pre-production that head rear AC. Any news if that will be added? Nope. Someone mentioned that there's a refresh for 25, but we haven't heard anything.
We could maybe see that, but yeah, there's no vents on the back of those seats right now.
So I just wanted to mention this because I really liked hers. Be kind to others, be kind to yourself, and buy yourself whatever you want tomorrow from Amazon.
Snips. She hasn't been in. She's not in here every week, so it's nice seeing her in there.
She hops in, but for short times. Harley Quinn. On a Bronco Sport, the button inside for the liftgate, is it powered and automatically opens, or does it only unlock for a manual opening?
Only unlocks for manual opening.
Okay.
No powered liftgate.
Any word on when the Tesla adapter will be available?
There are some companies that have them available. Electron, you can go to their website, and I think they have. Well, last I looked, they had the adapter available for pre-order. So I don't know if it's still on pre-order, but
Nothing Ford official.
Oh, from Ford? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really matter where you get it, really.
No.
I mean, somebody had said something about that Ford made it that Jim Farley made it sound like that all the Lightning and Mach-E owners were going to get it for free. I'd be surprised. I mean, I really would.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't, because you have chargers you can use. So to me, if you want to use a Tesla one, that's a convenience.
Yeah.
So I don't see Ford providing this for free for these owners. So I may be wrong, and I hope I am, but I don't see it happening.
If anything, it's probably for anyone currently purchasing and not previous purchasers.
I had someone reach out to me to do a video on the adapter, and I said I'd love to do that. So, but since I wasn't willing to do another video for them on one of their other chargers, they said that those people that were doing those videos would get first dibs on getting those. And I'm like, that's fine. I'll wait. I'll do it whenever. I don't have to be first. I'll just be the best. So that's what I try to do is I may not be the first video on something when it comes to like the RTR package or whatever, but I'm going to be the most thorough.
The most knowledge intensive.
Yeah. So I'll watch everybody else's and see what they did wrong. Just kidding.
Does Lariat include anything from the 2000 price increase? Perhaps Blue Cruise is standard again?
So Blue Cruise is standard for 90 days. Blue Cruise is standard on 511A for 90 days, but not 3 years like it was. It doesn't mention. It just says a price increase, so there's no mentioning. I didn't look up any order guide updates this week. I could do that while we're answering other questions. I'm good at multitasking.
When will the Lightning Flash show on Ford's website? A 24 model Lightning in general?
Okay, so they don't have any of their 24s on there right now. So, and maybe that's what they're waiting on. Maybe they were kind of tired of dealers being able to put orders in, and then they didn't have it on their website. So maybe they closed ordering, and then they're going to make that change, and then they're going to be on the website because it said it was supposed to be there in
Also, think
January.
about this. Everyone keeps asking about the Flash edition. They keep going, my dealer says I can't order it. I can't order it. I can't order it. So maybe they need to change names in WebDo so that Flash is on there instead of the 511.
Well, okay, so here's the deal, though. To be honest, it doesn't actually say. It actually, I think, doesn't it say Flash?
No, we checked it. It does not say Flash.
312.
It says XLT, whatever package, but it's not the Flash.
Oh, well, it's the same thing as XLT extended range.
Right.
What that was, but
that's how they have it in there. They didn't rename it to Flash, or they like with Maverick, they have the trimmer added, and there's a specific option for trimmer. They didn't do that with Lightning.
Yeah.
So maybe they need to do that because dealers are saying that Flash is not available.
Yeah.
When it is. It's just not labeled Flash.
Well, you can't order any of them now right now, so we'll see. And it maybe the reason they did close down WebDo or pause it is maybe they do want to have the website almost ready, and so people can order there, and they want to provide that. You can't order a 24 Mach-E on the website either, but you can't order it through a dealer. They closed that down. I haven't even tried to order a Mach-E. Wonder if you can order a Mach-E now. Maybe they did the same thing for it. Let's try.
All right.
Well, it's not stopping me. I don't know. Oh, it lets me.
Okay.
So
while you were working on the other thing that you were working on, does Ford ever give incentives for Super Duty? No.
Nope.
They can sell those without incentives.
Yeah, they figure most people need it for construction, towing a trailer, something like that. So they've never needed to.
Yep. Did you figure out what you were trying to figure out?
Yeah.
Besides the mach-e?
What about it?
You were doing something before you checked on the mach-e.
Oh, yeah. I already talked about it.
Oh.
We're
Okay.
good. We're good.
Okay. I saw a video of a 24 Lariat with a Pro Access tailgate, but the Ford website says that it won't be available for the Lariat package. Do you think the website might be wrong?
Nope. I mean, we actually, if you look at Ford's website, I think it says that it's going to be what, King Ranch, Platinum, and then Tremor 402A. I think is what the website says. We don't know because it's not showing in the order guide yet. So as soon as we get information that it's in the order guide, we'll let you know. But I actually think it's a travesty that you make a big deal about a Pro Access tailgate and then not make it available for half the model year, and also not make it available on even a Lariat trim. Anyway, there you go. Little rant. That's a little rant.
What tailgate do you get on the Platinum if you don't get the Pro Access?
The current tailgate step, the workbench thing, whatever you call it. Yeah, you're gonna get basically what you get now. So, yeah. All right. Any Lightning owners getting a message about all-wheel drive malfunction, loss of power? I've had it less than a month, and I get this message twice.
I haven't heard of that one yet.
I haven't heard of that. Yeah, I don't know. Might have your dealer like plug it in and see if there's something there's a code or something that's not working. So. All right. Anything else?
Yeah, we got some. Is Mustang scheduling this week?
No. They are not.
Will invoice minus rebates ever come back?
Yeah, I think so. We don't really go, like, if you want to look at it, I mean, a lot of because we used to, prior to COVID, a lot of our vehicles were invoice minus rebate. If you look at our prices now, I can tell you we have several models that are below invoice minus rebate. Just saying. And how are we doing that? All dealers do things a little differently. We have a system in place that we can be able to do that. Not all dealers do that, but I'm not going to say how we didn't get to that, but there's a reason why we're the number one dealer in Kansas. So I'm not going to give that away. But yeah, I think there are some dealers that are low that. For instance, right now, if you look at, we were just talking about Bronco. So we have Broncos on our website at $2,000 off, right? So let's look at that for a second. I'm just going to show you how we're probably there on Bronco, to be honest. So Bronco Big Ben, this in here is $4,000. We're $1,500 off. Did we not update that price? I thought it was $2,000 on all of them. Maybe not.
I should have updated it.
You say $1,500. That one's $2,000. Anyway, there's a Big Ben that's $2,000. All right, so that one's $49. Oh, okay. These others we couldn't go there. So we probably are invoice minus rebate. But if I, pull this one up and start looking at an invoice, was it 43 something on that one?
Can't remember.
Yeah. Invoice. There we go. All right. So this in here is a $49,000 Bronco, $49,600. Invoice is $48,320. That's $1,300 of markup, and we are $1,500 off. So we're actually below invoice right now. So yes, I think we're right on the cusp of getting back to that kind of pricing on some vehicles. So it just depends on, again, supply demand. And I think we're real close. I could tell you that Bronco Badlands that we have that's available. I guarantee you that's probably below invoice for us. So, and like I said, I can't tell you how we get to that, how we're able to do that, but we are $3,000 off on that one. So anyway, yep. Depending on the model. I can tell you that we have some F-150s. We're definitely below invoice minus rebate on. We got $10,000 off on those, and there's a discount package, and there's usually about $3,000 markup on some of those. So we definitely are below invoice minus rebate. So, yep, we're heading that direction. We're getting there. We'll Bronco schedule next week. Is that what he said?
I think so.
Should. We won't know for sure until Monday. All right. Next question.
Let's see. I had pulled over some. How many Bronco allocations do we have this month?
For March production, we'll have 10.
Okay. Can you combine Farm Bureau with X-Plan on a purchase?
I believe so.
Okay. Does the Flash have leather seats?
No.
How much are they giving off on the mach-e?
How much are they giving off mach-e?
Not sure.
We have mach-e's for $11,000 off, but Ford's not doing anything.
Yeah, we have ours listed 10 under.
Yeah, ours are like 11,000 off. But yeah, Ford's not doing anything for incentives on mach-e's, I don't believe. Oh, I guess I haven't seen the sell sheet for mach-e for EVs.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin sent that out to me and I haven't looked at it yet. Anyway. All right.
All right. Those are the questions I had. Besides a side question.
Side question?
Yeah.
That sounds suspicious.
Did you have a rant for tonight?
I've had a couple little tiny ones, so we've kind of talked about, but.
Well, we have, let's see. In your opinion, what are the facts and myths of all-wheel drive in winter weather?
Facts and myths? I don't know. So most of the vehicles that are like all-wheel drive means that you don't shift it into a 4x4 and have, front or rear. Most of the vehicles that are like that are usually front-wheel drive biased vehicles, like the mach-e's, like we were talking, Jeff and I were talking about this earlier. He's got an all-wheel drive version or all-wheel drive version of the Mach-E. I said, well, it's going to be front-wheel drive biased. Like I think if I remember right, and some people can correct me, maybe even Ragnarcon, that I think 60% of the power goes to the front wheels and 40% to the rear wheels and such. I know I have an all-wheel drive Maverick, right? And so I have a button for a 4-wheel drive lock, but I believe that 4-wheel drive lock is the 4 low.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's all-wheel drive all the time. I'd rather have a 4-wheel drive vehicle that I know is, in 4-wheel drive high or whatever. I like that. And knowing that, that's just personally what I like dealing with, because I know, especially winter driving and such and snow and all that I'm in 4 high or whatever, and I'm good. Because like what I like about the Bronco is when I put mine in slippery mode, it automatically turns the 4-wheel drive high on for me. I feel more confident with that. I think it drives better than the Maverick does.
Yeah.
For that reason. Plus, also probably 35-inch all-terrain tires. That helps too. But
that would help.
Anyway, but I mean, most of them should be pretty good. Most of your all-wheel drive vehicles are front-wheel drive biased, and just like with you had front-wheel drive today.
Yeah.
And you got through the snow.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to be a lower vehicle, so there's going to be spots where if it's got a lot of snow, you'll struggle in those spots because you just don't have
the lift to get through it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do slip, compared to my Maverick that had all-wheel drive, I did slip a little bit more. But sometimes I say it's not always about the vehicle. It's the driver sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm going through carefully, slowly starting and not going crazy. I'm taking my turns at a good slow speed, pumping the brakes when I need to.
Yep.
And then I see a souped up truck that probably has all-wheel drive, probably has a slippery or whatever mode, and all of a sudden he's at a stoplight and he just tries to send it. He tries to take off and his rear end starts sliding. I'm like, it doesn't matter if you have all-wheel drive if you're just going to be stupid and gun it. Just because you have all-wheel drive doesn't mean that you can just do whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, sometimes you just gotta slow down. So somebody, actually said slippery mode. And so Bronco, a lot of actually Ford vehicles have a slippery mode. So whether it be snow or it be rain, wet pavement, that kind of thing. And what it'll do is change the different modes will change the shifting of the transmission, your throttle response, traction control on and off will be controlled by that. Bronco, it engages the four-wheel drive high in certain modes or the four low in other modes. Slippery is one of those that does that. It kind of makes it to where when you press the gas, it doesn't take off like it normally would, but makes it to where you would have to give it more throttle to get that same speed. So basically what it does is it allows you to take off at a slower speed without you even thinking about doing that, right? Like with you, you said you have to intentionally try to go slower. Well, if a vehicle has a mode that does that for you, like the slippery mode does, then it's already allowing you to take off in a slower, and then you're gonna leave that stoplight, stop sign
a little bit more
easier, right? Than if somebody that just they don't have that in that mode. So it makes a difference. I can tell you when I was in Colorado, I just put 4 high on and didn't do slippery, and it was a big difference. I slid a little bit, so I put that slippery mode in.
See, and for me, it was more of the feeling of the C-Max, my front wheel drive is loose and it feels like it's sliding all over the place. Maybe what I'm thinking of is with my Maverick, I felt there. It felt sturdy. It felt like it was making tracks instead of just gliding along.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It just felt sturdier. Yep. Like I said, making its own tracks instead of just gliding along on ones that were already made.
Yeah, I was actually just saying. I was just commenting to what they said about slippery mode, but
but that's the slippery mode. I was using slippery mode when that happened.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's the mode and the all-wheel drive that made it feel like that, or if it was the actual vehicle and the stiffness of the steering and all the other wackadoo.
So anyway. But Ragnar Conant said, Escape, Edge, front wheel drive bias, yes. Explorer is rear wheel drive. Pickups, Broncos are, super and Maverick, or I mean not Maverick, but Ranger, rear wheel drive. Mavericks front wheel drive biased, and so most of those when you see those Bronco Sports front wheel drive. So when you see on those vehicles, you see an all wheel drive versus a 4x4.
Yeah.
So you see, if you see F-150s 4x4, Broncos 4x4. So it seems like to me a rear wheel drive has now, and even the Explorers, an intelligent 4-wheel drive system, where this is with the rear wheel drive. But anyway, so there you go.
See, did Jeff have any problem getting out, or did you go out before him this morning?
We went out together. He was ahead of me. He pulled on the Crawford, and he slid a little.
Well, I mean on
but
your driveway.
He was fine.
Well, I mean,
But remember, I had plowed it by the time.
Did you plow the whole car space all the way down, or did you make the tracks?
I went all the way down.
All the way down. I was going to say, you have all-wheel drive vehicles. You have the Bronco, the Expedition.
I know.
And the Maverick.
If the mailman came and all that, I didn't want to worry about them having to get up the drive.
Well, Levo had to get up the drive, so.
Yeah. Anyway.
There's a saying, if you try and go up his driveway, don't stop.
So I highlighted that because it says, when will the mach-e be available? It's available now.
He actually commented later on, when will the mach-e rally be available?
They said first quarter. So again, we're waiting on a lot of things right now that Ford said January we'll get you information on. Ranger Raptor allocations, the 2.7 liter in the Ranger, the mach-e Rally and GT being available to order. Let's see what else. The Pro Access tailgate, trimmer. We're waiting on all these products that Ford said we'll have more information first quarter. And we got to remember, some of them say January, but a lot of times when they say first quarter, that could be through March, right? So we're waiting on a lot of this stuff. So We hopefully soon will get some fun news and information for you guys um, of when the stuff is now finally available that Ford has said will be available. So, yep. Maybe it's time to email some brand manager that says, I want some dates.
I'm about to order this Electron Tesla adapter. Website says they will start shipping this month.
That's the website that I saw them on. So, and I don't think they were too expensive, if I remember right. I think they were $100 maybe. I don't know.
How long can I leave my truck before picking up? It's due probably mid-February. So if you purchase, we just request that you get your paperwork and purchasing done quickly within probably the first week.
Yeah.
I think is usually our time frame. After that, if you need it to stay here for a month or two.
Yep. Yeah, we're not
keep it
gonna.
safe.
We got a big lot now, so yeah, we're not gonna push anything off. So, not a big deal at all. So,
all right. Can you use Farm Bureau with private offers on a Maverick?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure can.
Do you know if Broncos will schedule next week? I think we answered that.
Yeah, we answered that.
All right.
Anything else?
This computer's about to die. That's all the questions I had pulled off, and I've been keeping up with them pretty well.
Yeah, so on some vehicles, their GOAT modes is what Ford likes to call it. It means go over any type terrain. And the other vehicles, they're just called drive modes. So Ford likes to be kind of cool about it and say they're GOAT modes. So anyway, so in scheduling concerns when ordering F-150 Platinum with splash guards and wheel well liners. Leave off the splash guards and wheel well liners. And wheel well liners, you're probably okay, but I'd leave those splash guards off and have the dealer install them if I were you. But does F-150 still qualify for business vehicles come tax season? It don't qualify for business vehicles.
F-150 Lightning?
Lightning, I assume. Yeah, F-150. So F-150 still gets a tax credit, $7,500. Escape plug-in still gets the rebate of $3,750. Mach-e does not get the tax credit of $3,750. And now dealers can apply that at the beginning. So, and then I think we answered that already. And our hands can't open for Ford now. So we don't know. They haven't mentioned anything to us about being able to order it through Ford's website or anything. But I don't. Again, I hate to say that Ford won't provide that, but I'm sure Ford will provide it on their website, just like their Chargers. But I don't think they're going to give them to owners. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm going to feel bad if you go ahead and order one. So you might wait a little bit, but there you go.
All right. Those are the questions I had.
All right.
Any more?
I don't think so.
All right.
I think we got them all. So, all right. Well, nothing else.
Your stuffiness is getting worse.
Yeah, it is. Crazy. All right. Okay. Well, I don't think we have anything else. Again, if you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments. We try to, actually, I need to catch up on some of the comments, but, can email us as well. And especially, I think we had someone that had an order with us that needs to email us so we can look up the order and see. But, yeah. All right. So I think right now we're kind of in a hold this week. A lot of models not scheduling this week. A couple still are that need to fulfill their allocations. I know for us, we have Super Dues that need to be fulfilled from what they owe us still. F-150 as well. One Explorer. We got some Escape ones too that need to be fulfilled. So there's a couple models, but the Escape will probably carry over because they're not scheduled this week. Two are plug-in. But so some of those need to get fulfilled, but otherwise next week is where we really probably start seeing allocations for March production start happening. I'd assume by next week. But anyway, so there you go. So it'll get a little more interesting start next week again. So. All right. Well, thanks guys for watching. Share this video out. Hopefully you guys are already subscribed, notification about all that good stuff. If you want to be a member, don't forget, do that. Click on that member thing. There's more information if you want more information than what we covered today. Otherwise, I think that's it.
All right.
All right. Thanks, guys. Don't forget, stay positive, be kind to one another, be kind to yourself. Oh.
Took my line.
Stay positive, be kind to one another,
and be kind to yourself.
We'll see you later.